Have you ever wondered what it's like to grow up in the 80s? NES sitcoms and where's the beef ladies? Then you need to listen in your car or at work. Now it's time for Keith is a Jerk. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Keith is a Jerk. We got a couple extra. We got a new guest joining us today. Derek, what's going on, Derek?
Not much. How you been?
And then, of course, now you're in for a real treat, Derek. We got Ryan in the house. What's going on, Ryan?
Boom, boom, shake, shake the room.
There it is. That's his thing.
I've really dug myself a hole. You know, the sad part is I had another one I was going to do, and I realized I've already done it. I had to listen to the intro of all of our podcasts, and I'm like, this is how uncreative I am. I'm already into fucking repeats for
like
my stupid
11 episodes in, and he's got nothing left.
I think it might be time to hang it up.
So today we are going to talk about times we almost died. As many people know, if you grew up in the 80s, you were left alone a lot.
Yeah.
Latchkey Kids, I think, was probably really invented in the 80s, right? Because that's when women started going to work in late 70s, early 80s. So nobody really thought about what that would do at home. Mm-hmm. Women were all excited about hey, I can go get a job, I can earn some money. And you're like, cool. Be like, bye, kids. So I know that I was one of those kids. My mom was all worried. Anyway, any of you guys ever get kidnapped?
I should have been. I would ride my bike to school. I had to go through a forest as a child.
We talked about that a little bit. I don't know why there are forests near schools. That is a bad idea.
Yeah.
I always feel like there's just one pedo on the planning committee who's just they're like, hey guys, why?
By the forests.
Yeah,
By the forests.
I just want to leave it near the forest. Be like, but there's no real reason. We're actually pretty far out of the way.
We've already
here.
bought the land. It's next to the hospitals. The forest.
I need the forest.
You could go the long way around, but the forest is quicker. Go through the forest.
Yeah, that's true. They always tell you don't go through the forest. Guys, don't go through the forest. This is your principal trying to give you a pre-rape warning, too.
But it's so much faster.
Way faster. Anyway, yeah, I got kidnapped when I was a little kid.
I'm glad this finally happened, because you've had so many near kidnapping stories in all the podcasts. I know Derek hasn't been listening to the podcast.
It's one of those things. So I didn't get kidnapped in the traditional sense, like on a movie where they grab you and hold you for ransom and shit like that, and there's Kiefer Sutherland and stuff. But it's he might have been. That might have been Kiefer Sutherland, actually. Maybe when I tell the story, we'll see. It might have been him. Right. So behind my houses, I don't know if you guys ever did this, but we were big on really ruining things. That was a big fun pastime for us.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So there was construction going on. They're building the new houses in the new subdivision. So we used to always go and play inside those houses. Admittedly, I don't think our goal was to destroy them, but just play
just
tag, whatever. Yeah, push each other off and smash shit. Right?
Just being 80s kids.
Exactly, just 80s kids. Yeah.
You had no parental supervision.
So we're in there one day, and it's getting pretty late, probably around 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and we're little. I think I was probably 9 or 10. Mm-hmm. Me and my two friends, and so we're just about to leave, and then we see this big dude. Now I don't know how big he was. We were little kids, but grown. Comes riding up on his bicycle, and he jumps off, kind of ghost rides it, and he does a scary entrance, right? This is not, it might have been Nick Cage. So he comes in and he's like, "What are you kids doing?" And we're like, "We're just going, man." And I don't even think we were doing anything bad that day. He goes, "Get inside." And we're like, and being the kids we are, we're not like, "Oh shit, this is bad." We got it. We just went, "Okay." And we just turned around, walked back inside. Had a clear path to just run. Not even a forest near us where we had to worry. So we go inside, and this guy just comes in, and his first move, he's clearly been drinking, you know what I mean? And he's like, "I build these houses." And we're like, "Okay."
Oh, God.
And he's like, you guys know how much it costs to build these houses? And I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck is going on right now. I did not think I was going to be answering how much houses cost. An 8-year-old's not really privy to this kind of information. I was like, I don't know.
Well, what kind of rate are you getting, sir? I don't know.
Are we talking your specific credit rating? I can't imagine it's great. 8 o'clock at night, you're riding a bike around drunk.
You're saving a lot of money on car costs.
You clearly don't care about this bike.
So I remember.
How old if you could? How old if you could? This is a guy in his 20s, 30s. Like,
I'm gonna assume, yeah, I'd say mid 20s, early 30s, somewhere in that area. Fully grown man by all means. And again, I'm with two other little kids. Like every red flag in this guy's head should have been going off. Like whatever his instincts were of like, hey, I work here, get out of here. That should have been where this ended. So he goes and he says, "Do you know how much these houses cost?" I'm like, I don't know, like $5,000. You know, like I threw out whatever number I thought was right at the time.
It's like asking Saffron how much a fucking house costs.
But it was almost like I was so little that I was almost like do the thing that my little kids do when you ask them like $5,000,000,100. You know, like that. Another red flag should have gone on for him. These are children. And so he's like this house costs $100,000, and I was like, okay,
What neighborhood was this?
Because
that's a great deal, actually.
this is the 80s, though, so in fairness, houses were still fairly cheap. I also don't know that this man was the authority. To this day, I'm not convinced he was the owner. And so he's like, and so we're like, okay, and we're like, and so then we start getting a little nervous at this point, right? Like, okay, this is weird. And so we're like, so I'm like, okay, we gotta go. Like, we gotta go. He goes, no, you don't. And he shuts the door closed. And then and we're like, right? And so we're just standing there, and he's like, don't move. And I'm like, well, that's what I want to hear next. Turns around and just starts taking a piss in the corner of the house that he's built. So I'm like, well, sir, that is going to bring the value down right there. I'm like, that's no longer 100,000. So then, like, that's when my friends start looking at me, and they're like, are you gonna do something? I'm like, I'm 8. I'm not doing anything here. I'm looking at you like I'm looking at you. You're black. Like I thought you were gonna be able to handle this. And so we're all freaking out. And so yeah. Then he turns around. He's like, you guys know how much this house costs? And I'm like, and so my other friend's like, I believe $100,000. Like he's trying to win the contest, you know, of like I was listening, sir.
Did he buzz in?
I get to go home, right? And he's like, $250,000.
That is some expensive piss.
I was like, all right. And we're like, so, and then he's like, sir, I really have to go home. And he's like, no, nobody's going anywhere. And he takes out a little pocket knife, like a weird little, like not a fun one, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like not like, it's almost a weird one. It's not like it's a Swiss Army knife, so that you could be like, oh, okay, maybe he is a builder and he's got weird,
right,
you know, tools on there for when he's building these houses. He uses a Swiss Army knife. Not a knife like, oh shit, this is Rambo's gonna kill me. Like a very strange, almost homemade pocket knife.
I was gonna say, was this like a paring knife with like an orange handle or something like
strange,
that?
You know what I mean? And so we're like, okay, this is a new level. And so I'm like, I'm at this point, I'm like, I legitimately started to get worried. At first, it was kind of funny. We're laughing at this drunk guy, and now we're like, this is getting a little more serious. And so then he's like, he's just taking it, and he just starts stabbing the wall. Like, kind of slowly and methodically, just like, and so I'm like,
were you counting out loud like 999,998,000?
And well, in fairness, Ryan, this was a 250,000. I think you should go to the last estimate. And so anyway, then just keep stabbing, and nobody's saying anything. Like I can see one of my friends about to ask a question, and I just stop him. I'm like,
yeah,
no, just
ride this out.
like let's just see where this is going before you start questioning why he's stabbing things. And it turns around, you guys know how much this house costs. Like he's getting angry at himself for asking this question so many times.
Now you're questioning, do I go up or down from this?
Yeah. I'm like, well, it was $100,000. You pissed on it. It went to 250. Now you've stabbed the wall a bunch of times. And so then again, so we're starting to get scared. The red flags are going off. So what do? Do we get scared and start panicking? No, we start laughing at this point because he's asking the same fucking question over and over again. So we're laughing, and I go, $500,000. He's like, you are close. It's $600,000. It's $1 million. This house. I don't know if you guys have explained where I lived. This is not in the neighborhood of $1 million. I felt like 100,000 was overestimating.
It's got some custom art in it now.
In fairness, I don't know what else of his body he's put into this house. And so he says it, and then he's not really even crazy. Like I don't know. My only reference to crazy is like what I see in movies and stuff, right?
Right.
Like, you know, where you see, like, I know how you watch actors, but this guy was either real crazy and also drunk, or just so drunk they just didn't understand what was going on. Like, I don't think he's a very bright guy. I think he's one of those people who wanted to work in construction but wasn't allowed. You know, was bringing his own knife and like, I can work.
Well, there's your first problem right there. You don't have enough tools.
He's doing like Dog Day Afternoon. I'm smart now, like people say. I got knives. And so we start laughing. He's like, "Dog, what are you fucking laughing at?" And we're like, "Nothing. It's just this house is very expensive." And he's like, "It is, yeah." And he's like, "Yes, you get it." And I'm like, and so my friend starts crying. And he's like, because we're laughing, me and my other friend are kind of like, this guy's just nuts. And we start laughing because he's asked the same thing, and it's making us laugh. We're just children. The other kid is smart enough to go, I am fucking terrified. This guy's going to kill me. He's had that moment. We're not smart enough to register that yet. So he starts crying. This chain of event happens pretty quick at this point. So he starts bawling, and the guy's like, well, he stops, and he's like, what's wrong? And he's like, you're gonna kill us, and you locked the door, and you wouldn't let us go, so now we're trapped here, and you kidnapped us, and you're gonna stab us. And he goes, and you can see lights flicker on in this guy's head. He had not put together what he had done. And he was like,
I'll be the first to admit the succession of events has been...
Yeah. Like, I don't know what he thought was happening. I was like, but it was 100%. You kidnapped children. You pulled out a knife and started stabbing walls and threatening them, and took out your penis in front of them, and then just urinated all over the place.
Maybe in his mind's eye, he was picturing himself like Tony Robbins giving these kids this inspirational speech.
I fucking love the idea that this was Tony Robbins, and this was what made him turn his life around.
One day you can have $500,000 and own this house.
That's what he sees.
I don't know if he was trying to sell us the house. Like, I think he may have just been like, so what do you think? Do we got a deal?
Before you go, take these flyers. I don't know if you guys know what an ensuite is, but...
So at this point, now he's like, his eyes are wide open.
He's had the epiphany.
He is sobered up quickly. And he's like, no. It's okay. You're not, no. And he said no about 60 or 70,000 times. And then he puts his knife in the wall, like to leave it there. Like, he's like, no. And he puts his knife in the wall, like holding up his hands, like, no,
God.
look.
It would be so good if you found a live wire as you
my
was...
God. So anyway, he's like, no, God, no, hey, stop, it's okay, you can go anytime. I was not, that's not what this is. So he opens the door, and we're like, okay, do we just go? And he's like, yeah, go. And so I admit, we're walking out, and I'm still kind of laughing because I've, look. Hey, whatever. I've grown up around some drunk people. I recognize that at least this guy, he might be a little off, but he's just hammered.
Yep.
And so I fully admit I can't not go for the joke. I was like, by the way, do you know how much this house costs? I was like, we might be looking for a new house. And he's like, I don't know.
$100,000.
So we got kidnapped for a brief time. But admittedly, like, we were really late getting home. Here's the fucking crazy part. We didn't tell our parents. Like, we just took shit for being late. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure at the time we didn't want to get in trouble for playing in the houses. You're not supposed to go in there, right?
So even as a kid, you're like, my explanation is so long that I don't know where to start. Like,
yeah, I mean, realistically, the answer should have been I told my dad. He went down and beat the shit out of a maniac. But that's not what I chose to do. And then the funny part is me and the other guy who was like normal, was recognized and we're laughing and stuff. I still remember this. We get about 20 feet away, and I'm kind of laughing at this point because my other friend's laughing now because I've asked him how much the house cost. And so then the other guy who was cool with it just does this thing. It all catches up to him at once. And he's like, yeah. And like big bawl, like huge crying. And I'm like, it's okay, buddy. It's over. Like, it's
usually the Stockholm syndrome takes a while to take effect.
He just realized at that moment, oh, that was pretty real. That wasn't very safe. We shouldn't have done that. So anyway, that was it. And guess where we went the next day?
Yeah, right back to it. Yeah.
Right back. Absolutely. I brought everybody back to show them the stab marks in the wall and the piss on the floor. I was like, guys, look, I wasn't joking. This guy fucking did this. Great. Never saw that guy around town. I thought for sure, small town, I might have bumped into him, but nah.
Did you find his bike he ghost rode?
Once we got out that door, he was on that bike and gone pretty quick.
How much that bike costs?
He was really hammered, so I'm sure he got hit by a car after driving away. That's the other probably part of this story that I don't know. It's pretty great.
That's
So
a great
anyway,
story.
what about you? Anybody else kidnapped? Or,
Not kidnapped. No.
No.
I've almost died on the job a lot of times. I'm more dangerous as an adult than I was as a child. I was telling Derek earlier, like I had a lot of jobs, as you know, right after college, and I did a lot of like laborer jobs.
Right.
And it was the perfect storm. I'd only be there for like a week, so I'd be there long enough to put myself in harm's way, but never learn the actual trade.
Right.
So it was just a perfect shitstorm of danger. I had this one job. I was working in Mackinac Island. Do you guys know where that is?
I do not.
I've heard of it. I don't know where it is.
Tourist trap in, I think it's Lake Michigan, kind of by the Sioux. It's an island, and it's like kind of like colonial time, so there's no cars allowed.
Oh yeah, I know where
And
this
it's a
is
big
now.
fort with a big national park. So
What
just
about bikes? Can you ride your
just
bike?
bikes
Okay.
and,
And horses.
horses. So my job was to give like a guided tour of Old Town on like an enormous, and I mean fucking enormous horse-drawn carriage.
Yeah, like those big like Clydesdale things.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, people don't realize how big those fucking horses
They're
are.
massive. Have you had
important
any
thing to
horse
know-
experience before this?
Yeah, that's the important thing to know is I'd never seen a horse in real life until the first day I showed up. I had two friends who were working there, and this is in Michigan too. You need to understand this. This was a couple years before 9/11, so it was so easy to go across the border back then.
Right,
like
right.
you could not do this now.
Thanks, horses.
Yeah. My friends were working there. They're like, they knew I wasn't working after. They're like, come on up, just try it out, whatever. And I'm like, I haven't seen a fucking horse in real life since I was like 6.
Right.
They're like, don't worry about it. We'll train you. And I'm like, okay, what is? So one of them was coming back to North Bay anyway, picked me up, brought me back. I had no expectation of actually working. I thought,
Sure.
guys, like, they want somebody with some fucking qualifications.
Right, you're gonna get there and they're gonna be like,
Yeah.
no, he's
Yeah. So, and you take this lovely ferry ride. It's like a 20-minute ferry ride. You arrive on the island, and the guy, we get off the ferry, and there's my new boss just standing there. He's like, hey, oh, this is Ryan. This is a new rider. And the guy turns around, he looks at me. He's like, you got work boots? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, I'll see you at 6 a.m. tomorrow. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I'm literally just some schmuck off the boat.
literally. Now you know what it
Literally.
feels like to be an immigrant.
Yeah, seriously.
Ryan got the immigrant experience.
I mean, I was so I knew nothing. So I had to learn everything from fucking scratch. So there's one lesson, very important that you learned: you don't touch the horse's feet.
Sure.
Because you will get fucking kicked. So I witnessed somebody.
And sorry, just for reference, like I've seen these horses before, like not like you have, but like they're like 13 feet tall.
Oh
right?
my god, they're enormous. Like as you could said there's a lot of bikes, and once a day I would see a good bike fall. I saw somebody go barreling down a hill, and like their brakes were gone or something, right into the fucking horse's ribs, and the horse like didn't even flinch.
Yeah,
like
they're
and the
fucking
the,
massive.
Their feet are like the size of basketballs.
Yes,
Right.
the power of these animals is really it's fucking unbelievable. My first day, I'm there. I'm like they're teaching me how to put the bridle on. I
So
don't know
that's
how
what
to
a horse is.
I put it
I would
on.
love it if you're putting the bridle on the guy who talked to you about the boots.
So I put it on. The fucking
Wrong
horse.
way, Ryan.
This goddamn giant beast steps on my foot, and like I'm wearing steel toes, but like between the steel toe and like on the bridge of the foot,
Right.
and I just and I like give it a forearm in the ribs, and I'm trying to get it off me, and I pull my fucking foot out, and it rips the boot. Like the steel toe is still under the horse's goddamn feet, and I'm like, these are the only qualifications for the job I have.
Well, there goes this job.
Exactly. So anyway, there's literally
Horse
people.
brings him into the office. Ryan, do you know how much these horses cost?
Start stomping its leg to count.
100,000 times. Oh shit! When he gets to the next one, we're gonna be a while.
So because there's nothing but horses on these streets, there's literally a job. It's not a good job.
So did you actually drove these
Oh,
things?
dude, yeah. Then the thing about it is these are old horses, and they've been doing this for a while.
So you don't need a license for this or anything,
Oh,
right?
good
Like,
lord, no. Good lord, no. Like,
I
not
feel
even...
more confident just driving a car or a truck or something like that I've had no experience
I did,
in.
like, shadowing. I would go... And these horses are old. They know the route.
Well,
Like-
Shadow's the name of the horse.
Yeah, nice. I'm holding the reins, but the horses are like, yeah, okay, we got this, right? Like, they know the
Yeah,
route
they know
pretty
the route
fucking
and everything.
well.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm just there.
You're
in
just
case
here
they
to
get
pick up my
spooked.
shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's a job, Derek. There's honestly
I
guys
believe
with
it.
push brooms on the side pushing the shit off the street because, my God.
That's why you need the boots.
Yeah. And I've now got an open toe. So anyway, I'm shadowing this girl who's showing me how to do horse stuff. I retained a lot, clearly.
Clearly.
And there's clearly one of the shit sweepers is new. Asks us, again, I learned this the first day.
So have you put out that on your resume and special skills?
Mr.
Horse stuff?
Mr. Leclerc, please have a seat here. Can I ask you, what do you feel about horse stuff? Yeah, do you have a lot of knowledge in horse stuff?
I have boots.
I had
have
boots.
half a boot.
I had
I
boots.
have 1.5 boots, sir. Sorry, continue with horse stuff.
I have like a steel toe sock that I can now slide on, pretty much. So this shit sweeper, again, his job should be less complicated than mine. It's like his first day, and he's like, your horse has got some shit on his foot. Can I sweep it off? And like the person I'm shouting, sarcastic, is like, yeah, go ahead. Like thinking he would know about it. So he goes in to sweep it off, and he
What a
just
fucking idiot! What an
Gets-
asshole boss you have.
he's got a push broom. It kicks through the push broom, and like honestly, I'm sorry, it's a podcast. I'm right by your junk, just to the left. Gets kicked right there. He goes about 8 feet backwards, like just
Like a
erases him.
cartoon.
Yeah, basically.
That's great.
And then the horse starts losing its fucking mind, and it's got this one on its right. It starts losing its mind just out of
Well,
like
yeah, it's attached to the other one. That's
yeah,
losing
exactly.
its
So
mind.
what are we doing? Okay, let's go nuts. Let's go nuts. So
Is it time for horse stuff?
this is part of horse stuff, Ryan. Get used to it. So here's something that's part of horse stuff. So when this happens a lot, by the way, horses lose their fucking minds. They're big 1,700-pound babies. They get spooked by stupid.
There's a term, crazy as a
Go
horse.
ape shit. So they're both just galloping down the street, and there's kids and there's tourists fucking everywhere. So the workers
you
on the
still
side.
on the back?
No, I'm in like shotgun. Like sitting. She's trying to reel this horse in.
And so are there actual tourists in the back of this carriage?
No, we'd unloaded it, but like so many
Oh,
on the
that'd be
streets.
amazing.
So many on the street.
And if you look over to the left, you'll see the Hotel Colonial houses. If you look over here, you can see there's the new Baskin Robbins and everybody. Oh, sorry, we don't have time for a treat.
Ask for Ryan next time. More horse
Ryan
stuff.
takes off his hat at the end for tips, if you don't mind.
So here's how you stop a rampaging horse, apparently, that the street employees have been trained. You take bikes off the side and you throw the bikes into the path of the horse so it like kind of stumbles a little bit and slows down. I wish I was
It's like a spike strip.
basically.
Bike strip.
Oh, I'm so mad I didn't think of that at the time, but I was
Wow.
busy. So just picture me not
We had a
knowing...
lot going on at the time.
Me not knowing
So
horse
much
stuff,
horse
I'm
stuff.
like holding on for dear life, and there's people fucking throwing bikes at us.
And you don't know about the bike thing at this
And
time. Oh, that's great.
And have you ever thrown a bike? You're not
No.
accurate. You're not accurate.
I saw one guy throw a bike.
He ghost rode it and then kidnapped me.
So eventually the horse is just like, you know, tires itself out. Like we go into the middle of like the national park
I
there.
love that that's the protocol. Just tire the horse out.
No, they tried. The protocol is to throw a bike.
Somebody give me a bike.
And like these bikes are rented out by local business owners. So the business owner's like, fuck, just you don't have license to just grab my bike and throw it in the middle of the street.
Official horse stuff. I need to commandeer this bike.
Yeah, you think he's gonna ride it, but he just
I
shucks
love the
it.
idea of your boss running down the road beside a tiny bit ahead of you guys just grabbing bikes, chucking them up, throwing
Picks
it
up a
up,
kid, chuck the kid one way, bike onto the path.
gets it backwards the other time, whoops, kid gets trampled.
Grabs a
Yay.
unicycle from some hipster on the side. And
That's fine. You throw
Yeah.
both those.
so the horse eventually just tires itself out, like because that's the city part, and we left the city part, so we're in the forest now. I was like, okay, just
Right next to my school.
not liking it. And then the horse like calms down, and it's just like, oh, that was kind of fucked up, wasn't it, guys? Like, the horse is totally fine at that point, and like, yeah.
Wow.
It's just a soothing sound hearing bikes get clambered on the street.
I wish there was somebody in the back. That'd be so great.
Oh god,
Just to see them like at the end be like, and this brings us to the end of the tour.
It's their honeymoon.
Let me help you out here. Oh shit!
Oh, that's
I did break a
fantastic.
buggy. I didn't almost die, but I don't know how to really.
that you could have yeah.
No, the buggy was fine. Just me doing a simple turn, like you.
How long did you have this job?
A month maybe, like
Hours.
I was stuck on this island, like fucking,
Right,
know,
yeah, you're
700
far away.
miles from my
Yeah.
house. And as soon as my next friend came to visit, I was like, take me home because we were doing like
Did it pay well?
no. Well, it did in volume because he was working.
Pay horse stuff.
You're working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, just on this buggy,
Right.
all day, and like
You got, like, did you get tips and stuff at least from people?
occasionally. I tried to be.
I assume with your skill set, with that
I,
great
like-
tour you're giving.
I tried to be funny on the tours. That's all you can do to like keep yourself entertained. And I didn't really do the tour. I would like talk to the tourists and make
Sure.
jokes and stuff like that. This one
Sure,
old
they
lady.
love that visiting.
Yeah, well,
I got my fucking horse rider doing a type 5 here up front.
horse stuff with Ryan McClare. Where are you from, sir?
Horsing around. Let's go, folks.
This one old lady asked me in the middle of one of my tours. She's like, she's so sweet, and she just like the old lady from every movie. She's like, I was just wondering, how do you tell the male horses from the female horses? And I knew I was quitting like the next day anyway, so I'm like, well, I've got 2 horses here, Mama. This is Cindy and this is Walt. If you look carefully, you can tell Walt is a male because he's got tiny little freckles on his dick. That was the first thing of day one horse. Like, I thought, that was always just an expression. I'm like, look at the size of this fucking animal's dick. Like, it's dragging on the ground. And I'm like, I've got the garden hose trying to, like, clean this fucking monstrosity.
Why
Like,
clean his dick? Just leave his dick alone, right?
I don't know. I would want somebody to clean mine if I was
Your
similarly
boss
afflicted.
comes over like, Ryan, that is not part of your job. Jesus. Did we not cover this when I said, do you have boots?
He's rubbing his boot on it.
I'm just trying to get the bike grease off this fucking animal's dick. I'm sorry.
Celebrity 911 calls.
911, what's the nature of your emergency?
Hi-ho there, it's Kermit the Frog calling, and I don't normally make these calls. God knows I'm not a saint. I'm just in the bathroom, Piggy, calm down. It's my girlfriend. She's fucking snapped is what she's done. Yeah, it's not good.
Sir, are you in physical danger from this woman?
Yeah, if she gets through this door, I'm pretty much done for. I can hear you talking to your skank frog! Skeeter and I are just friends, Piggy. Come on, it'd be like me banging Scooter with a wig on. You think I'm fat? Take a fucking Valium. You don't tell me what to do! Hey! Okay, this is getting worse. Shit's getting real. You pretty shit! Oh boy. Oh, she's getting through the door. Yeah! Gurney! Oh, Gurney, you made me do that! Why did you make me do that?
Hey guys! Hey, it's just me, neighbor from downstairs. Everything cool? Yeah, everything cool over here? Heard a lot of anger. Oh my God, Jesus Christ! Oh shit! Oh, he's shit! Oh, Kermit! Oh God, he's fucking dead! Oh, that bitch finally did it! Oh, he's shit! Oh, look at all this blood! Oh, Elmo not like this! Elmo not like this! La 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 la! La 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 la! Kermit!
So I lived on a court growing up, like a little cul-de-sac, and we played basketball on it all the time. And let me back up a bit. I also had a dog.
Okay.
And if you had a dog in the 80s, in the wintertime, you just let it out.
Yeah,
you didn't clean up after it. The dreadful springtime came.
Yeah.
You had a yard full of shit you had to pick up.
Well fertilized.
Well fertilized. So this soggy, if you've ever had a dog, it's cold from the winter and soggy and just nasty.
If
So
you're lucky, it's that white flaky dog poo from the 80s.
yeah, no, I was not lucky. So I just filled up an entire garbage bag with this thing. Now jumping forward, we're playing basketball on the street.
I love that they're related.
I'll tie it together.
I'm trying to connect the dots.
I don't know how old I am, maybe like 12 or 13, whatever.
Sure.
We're kind of new to the neighborhood. I made some new friends. They're over to play basketball and everything, having a good time. It's garbage day. It's the garbage day, so the garbage is out of the street.
Yeah.
So the garbage guy comes. We're like, all right, let's stop the game for a second. We just stand back there. I'm standing behind the truck. I'm like just watching these guys work, and they throw it in the back. And then, when you're a kid and like they pull the lever on to crush the garbage,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
this
yeah.
is awesome. I'm going to stand right behind this truck and watch this. So I'm maybe 6 to 10 feet behind this truck. and the big thing's coming down, clamping it. All of a sudden, one bag is kind of stuck. And it's kind of deformed. Like, you know when you kind of pinch a balloon, like the other side kind of expands a lot? So I'm just watching, I'm like, oh, that's weird. This thing's gonna pop.
I wonder what
What bag could this be? Boom! Splatter! It's literally just exploded in front of me. And I'm like, oh, I had to stop for a second. I'm like, oh, what was that? And then all I hear is the garbage guy go, that shit! The kid got sprayed with shit! And it drops to the ground, just starts laughing. It's in my mouth, it's in my eyes. I'm just like, no!
This is a grown-up?
A grown-up who's just doing his job. Not a great job to begin with. This is the highlight of his fucking career. Anytime he sees shitty kids playing on the streets, like, oh, stupid kids, I gotta pick up their garbage. I made up for all those shitty kids.
How much were you covered? Like
I don't know. I just remember looking down. There's little globs on my arms.
Was there, like-
I had something in my mouth.
Was there like a silhouette of not shit behind you and like shit all around?
it's like hero shit
Yeah,
mine.
yeah.
It's like just the
blast.
blast has
Yeah,
left an outline of Derek's body and poo. It's still on that court.
6 kids out there of my then closest friends. I'm the only one behind the truck. To give him credit, he did have a minute like, what was that noise? And he looks at me like this. He's like, oh my God, what is that? Something happened to that kid. That shit! That kid's covered in dog shit!
He assumed dog shit.
Yes. Shit that I had picked up hours earlier and put in that bag.
He play basketball?
It's just
I bet that garbage man still talks about that to this day.
once a week.
There's somewhere out there's Garbage Man is a jerk, and he's doing a podcast right now talking about the time this kid got coated in shit. Oh my God, that's great. Holy fuck, that's funny. Did you go back in your house? Like, what did you? Was anyone home?
I think I went in and my dad was just watching TV and I just kind of stood there like just kind of dumbfounded like, look at this! Do you know what this is? And then when he realized what it was, he fell on the floor laughing.
I was just gonna say, I was like, that's shit! That kid's covered in shit!
The shit I told you to clean up!
The worst part would be like, if from your dad's point of view, your mom was like just saying to him like, honey, he's just a kid. Should we really be asking him to do? He's like, nope. If he's gonna have a dog, he's got to be responsible. Believe me, this is good for him. And then 5 minutes later, your son walks in just covered in it. Oh God, that's great.
And I don't think we could play basketball after because there was shit all over the ground. So I think that kind of stopped it for the day.
Yeah. Okay. So I got another good one. Around the same age, I think. I'm gonna guess around that. I think maybe I'm 10 at the most. Kid across the road. So as bad as I was, like I was way worse whenever this kid was around. Like he
Right.
you know, I wasn't even that bad by comparison. Like that's what was great about. Like I think if it was nowadays, I'd be known as this horrible kid. But this kid was legendarily
Is
bad.
he older than you? You trying to impress
year
him?
older. A
Oh,
year
so you're
older.
trying to impress him and hang with him?
Yeah, and I mean, so the story that goes with that, I'd probably talk about it on a fighting podcast. He beat the shit out of me every day from like 5 till like 8 or 9. And when my dad just finally got fed up
And you took that as, oh, he likes me.
right. Well, no, I'm just an idiot. I have this stupid. Thanks a lot for running away, Dad, because now I have a need to make everybody like me. So I'm getting.
You think you're just joining a biker gang, and this is part of the initiation?
I'm like, boy,
every
I'm getting jumped in
single
for a long
day.
time here. Anyway, yeah. So that was ultimately that was what led me to get into martial arts. Was my dad just being fed up on me getting beat up. Anyway, so this kid is legendarily bad, like horrifically bad. So I think did I ever tell you guys? Okay, quick story here. This is more for the fighting one, but it's great. This would be a podcast for how my principal of my public school almost died. So I remember being really, really little, like grade 1 or something like that. And there was this crazy rumor in our school that our school was going to have a rumble.
Oh,
With
this
another
old
school.
rival school rumbles.
Well, it's like the Day of Warriors, right? Like, what year did that movie come out? I'm sure that's what sparked all this, right?
Yeah.
Was like gangs and rival warriors. I doubt they even had any problems with each other, but we're just like, fuck
Yeah.
it, this is our toughest guy is gonna fight your toughest guy. That even went on to like when I was older, but This was when I was really little.
Was it attached to yours? Because my school, I was a Catholic school, and there's a public school, and because I'm better than you, so I went to Catholic school. And our yards, the very back corner of the yards, like touched each other,
Right.
and you would just kind of hover, like just kind of like shark, like I see you, like, you cross this line.
Guess what ours was linked by? A forest.
That's what that was on this side. Forest is
Yeah.
here, little patch here.
Amazing. This principal, I'm in grade 1 or 2 at the most. Mm-hmm. And we hear these rumors there's going to be a rumble. And we're like, oh, shit, that would be cool to watch. Like, my friends and I are like, we don't want to get involved. Like, we're little kids. We're not that stupid, but we're stupid enough to be there. And so we just tell our parents we're going to go play at the school park. We're waiting. We're like, oh, man, this isn't going to happen. Nobody's going to come. Oh, well. Then it's like it's literally like a movie where you see like the light of the torches, you know what I mean? Like all these kids start walking and you can hear like chains, you know what I mean? Like, and baseball bats. I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be for real. Like, this is crazy. Then it's like they timed it perfectly, because it's not like they showed up and were waiting for the other guys are walking down the other side of the road. And I don't know how many there are. Admittedly, my memory's probably it felt like there was at least 20 people on both sides. Mm-hmm. If they start brawling, like, they're just little, you know, by our standards, they're only like 13, 14, but they're going to do damage to each other, right? Like, people are going to get badly hurt here. So then little fucking, like, Datsun or something, shitty car pulls up into the parking lot fast. My principal gets out wearing like big brown old school trench coat. And he just walks into the middle of this. Now, this whole time, the two big tough guys are staring each other down. They're not moving. It's like an old school wrestling thing. They're just eyeing each other up. Nobody's moving, but everybody's around them shit talking, and the hype men, they both got their hype men going. My principal gets out, and he's treating this like you're going to go deal with some children. It's a wave of feathered hair on both sides that are ready to fight.
To this principal, they're children.
Yeah. So he comes walking, he's like, all right, that's enough of this. Everybody's going to go home. There's nothing going on. He walks right into the middle. And he's like, guys, we're going home. Get out of here. This kid from my school turns, wha-bam, pops the principal right in his nose. Principal falls flat back. Like not like comically, like, oh, stumbles a little and then like, what the hell just happened?
Like you just got hit with an exploding bag of shit.
So the best part is I can't even say whether these guys were actually going to go at it, because I feel like the tension was so high. Maybe there was like, we're just going to both stare each other down and we'll end up leaving. This principal sets off the trigger. So he comes to set it off, and instead it starts the brawl. So he pops this teacher, and this teacher goes like a board, just like fucking Snatch when Brad Pitt goes through the thing. And he's not popping back out to do one punches. His principal is down and out. And the two sides just collided. They just started going at it. Admittedly,
I thought it was going to go the other way. I thought they were all going to laugh at the fallen principal and he would be a hero because he stopped the war.
No, that was it. They just fought over him. So then
they're using him as a prop, just swinging him around.
He just got punched, and then they climbed over top of him to fist fight.
Oh my God.
Anyway, that kid didn't get expelled from my school. He was still in my school.
He's promoted to
He's a new principal after that.
Principal's not doing shit to that kid.
This is my house now.
But the best part is, the principal for that, round that one out, still has to show up big black eyes for weeks. And he's got like the tape over his nose and everything. And this poor bastard's so poor, his glasses are taped. Because they've been broke. This guy got fucked up. It's a sad, sad while for our school there. Anyway, that kid didn't get expelled. The kid across the road from me, he went to my school all through. Every teacher, he got straight Fs. They just passed him because nobody wanted him again. Yep. They're just like, we got to just get this kid out of our school. Finally, by grade 7, they expelled him because he was just too bad. Like, just doing too many horrific things. So that tells you how bad this kid was. Anyway, this was my neighbor across the road that I got into shit with constantly. He comes over, knocks on my door, and he's like, get your brother. I found a way for us to climb up onto the roof of the bell tower downtown. And we're like, that's all I needed to hear, man. Let's go.
I have no follow-up question.
There's absolutely nothing. I didn't even grab a coat. I was like, let's go. My brother and I head down. So where we live, a typical, downtown area where they've got the big clock tower and stuff, Very not Back to the Future-ish, but there's have you ever watched Tommy Boy? Rob Lowe gets off the bus. This is exactly where this scene takes place. So you can actually see the bell tower that we climbed up in that scene. It's high up. It's, I don't know exactly, but how fucking high up does a clock go? It's pretty high.
That's clock stuff. I don't know much about it.
Well, there's a horse up top. And so we go back, and it's just, I think there's like an apartment or something up there too, right? Like they're just trying to milk everything they can. I don't know what the fucking rent is on this. 100,000, 200,000. I would love it if that was the guy who lived in there. So
He's doing very well now.
we're climbing up this thing. We get onto the roof, and it's not even hard. Like, like nowadays, I got to imagine, like, I think they have to take precautions for these kind of things.
Oh, God, yeah.
Back then, they're just like, yeah, I don't know what it's.
No one's
there,
gonna be
but
stupid enough to climb this.
The
what kind of
80s
fucking
was
idiot is
just...
gonna do this?
The 80s was a time where society learned a lot of stuff.
Right.
Through
Well,
people making mistakes
That's
like
right.
this.
That's all it is. It's just Darwin, right? Like,
Yeah.
I was supposed to be weeded out as a child.
Yeah. All the warning labels that are on shit now were written
All those
during the 80s.
teachers should have been so
'cause of,
happy
like,
because
yeah.
we were supposed to die that day, right?
Yeah.
Like, that was our time. So we get up onto the top of this. There's me, this kid, his brother, and my brother. They're both 2 years younger than us. So if I'm 10, they're only like 8. And we're all on top of this clock tower. So at first, we're just sitting there, and it's just cool to look down. Nobody's seeing us up there because nobody's looking up, you know what I mean, on top of a roof of a clock.
Unless they want to know what time it is.
Right. And no one does in that town. You just want to live out your days and get it over with. You're not interested in watching that clock.
You're just pissing on construction sites and stabbing walls.
That's right. So it gets crazier. So we're sitting there, and all of a sudden, one of us notices that the shingle is loose underneath one of our feet. And
Is this a flat roof or like an angled roof? You're
angled roof?
Okay.
Angled roof. We're
good
sitting on
lord.
an angled roof.
Good goddamn lord.
Oh yeah, no, very. I mean, I can't even fathom the idea. Like, this is both my daughter's age. That's insanity. Mm-hmm. I don't even let them sit on the dock too close to the water. You know what I mean? Anyway, so shingle comes loose. The kid across the road just grabs it and just like, watch, chucks it off the side.
Don't need this.
and almost hit somebody on the side of the road, like on the sidewalk, just walking down. So we're laughing. We're
I
like,
don't know
that's,
if for anybody who at home who's ever thrown a shingle,
it's great.
they're amazing.
Yeah, they go like
heavy.
ninja stars.
Yeah.
They're heavy.
They have sharp edges.
There's no real way to aim, but they just swoop all over the place. It's a fantastic journey that I wish you all to take.
Because I've thrown them just from the roof of my house, like
Exactly.
2-story up, and it's awesome.
Yeah, and so it really was. And that was our first reaction. This is awesome. So we start yanking off shingles and just start chucking them. It's pandemonium down on Main Street. These people are ducking for cover because they're old and they've probably been around a while and they're tar ridden. So they're shattering when they're hitting the ground. So it's even better. We feel like fucking there's a euphoria that goes with this. So the kid across the road, his little brother, whips one and just, I mean, at this point you're excited and you're into it. That thing is angled, overextends, and rolls off the side of this clock tower roof. We literally, my friend and I both grab him. We are hanging onto him by his shirt.
Oh, God.
Off the side. Like he has an arm up like on an elbow, but he is certainly off.
Yeah.
And so we pull him up and we're like, holy fuck, you almost died. Then I slip, my foot slips out because we're close to the edge and I'm kind of looking over. He grabs me and pulls me back. So I was going to go over again on the other side. Now here's the best part. We're like, okay guys, we got to get out of here. Like we see people panicking and they're like looking up. Thank God there's no cell phones back then.
Yeah, no shit.
Because we would have been screwed.
Yeah.
This is probably a span of all of 5 to 10 minutes. And so my friend goes, he goes, come on, wait, no. Chucks one. And we all watch. This is a big fucking shingle that he threw. And you just watch it sail through the sky. I'm going to see if I can get some stereo going on this. It's like, whoosh. Whoosh, and it's just sailing down from the top, but it's doing these big circular spins.
I can show you a world.
Right through a window of this army surplus store. I don't know that I should tell this story because now I'm realizing
You might be on the hook financially for some.
This is probably an open case that never got solved. It smashes right through the big bay window, and we're like, we should go. Like that's our cue now. Now we've gone too far, and so
The townspeople scattering wasn't
I
enough
know.
to tip you off.
That was just target practice. They were just running fast.
As
so that
soon
was
as
a
some
good-
glass breaks, oh shit!
Yeah, that was too much. So we jump down to the back, and I guess whoever lives in this clock tower, he grabs us and he's like, and he's shocked that we're children. You know what I mean? He's like, all right, I called the cops. You guys better get the fuck out of here. We're like, okay, thank you. We just run and we just bail off. So we're little, and you know when you're scared and you can run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we haul ass. We literally get across town down to a park when we hear all the sirens. So this kid across the road is like our gang leader, right? He's the leader. So he hears these cops coming, and there's a bunch of them. And so he goes, guys, don't resist. Just put your hands on your head and get on your knees. So there's this little kid, 10 years old, sitting on the side of a park by the road, on his knees with his hands on his head, interlaced. And he's the only one who does it. Cop cars just go, boom, 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 boom. They're all heading downtown. He's just left sitting on his knees, looking like an idiot. And so he's like, all right, come on, let's go. And we're like, are you sure? Are you sure we shouldn't just resist? Are we resisting? So anyway, we got away with it till today. And yeah, it was good. What about you guys? Didn't do that one?
Not that one, no.
No.
That's the difference. Like, yeah, I would go on the roof of the mall, the roof of the school, and stuff like that. This one day, this glorious day, I went home for lunch and I missed it. So this was a big problem at my high school. It was kids going up there. It was so easy. It was like a stupid trap door that goes up there off the janitor's jerk-off room or whatever. So this one kid
That's the part we're glazing over? Okay.
This one kid apparently was like cornered. And like, all right, come on, Jacob.
In the janitor's jerk-off closet?
No, like on the roof. He went up there. And, yeah, really sorry.
To the floor.
I left a misplaced modifier there, and it ended up terrifying.
You're not
he got up on the
anywhere.
roof. He got up.
You know how much this school costs?
Oh, the rest of the story doesn't even fucking matter anymore. But anyway, so he's up there, and like the principal and like a couple of gym teachers like kind of corner him.
Yeah.
So there's this interlocking brick going down the side, which he looks at and thinks, okay, we're in business.
You know what? That's on the school, though, because I don't know about your guys' school. Every school did that. They had a regular brick wall, but then they had, for whatever reason,
just every eighth
Spider-Man
brick.
bricks out there.
Yeah, every
so
eighth
you
brick
could
stuck
scale the
out,
wall.
for stylish
That's
reasons.
their fault. You don't want us on the roof. Don't be putting that shit on the side.
Emergency fire escape.
Yeah, like an exit strategy built into every school if kids get up there. So I'm told he didn't even like make the first brick. Just like tried to put his foot out. And like that episode of South Park, just the Cartman noise would hits the ground.
Oh,
yeah.
that's great.
I picked the wrong day to stay home for lunch.
I was just going to say, it reminded me of a time I almost got paralyzed.
Great, that's close.
I was playing in the schoolyard, and this other bigger kid is like, oh, I can pick that kid up. He picks me up on his shoulders and is like, running around.
You don't know this kid?
I don't know, he's behind me at the time. I didn't recognize. And then he spins around fast, and I go down ass first, and I just went, hit the ground, and I heard something pop. And it's like the first time you kind of get the wind knocked out of you.
Right.
Oh, God.
I'm like, I'm paralyzed. I can't move.
Nothing works.
But I also can't catch my breath, so I can't convey this to anybody. Like, I can't talk. I'm like,
How old are you at the time?
I don't know, like grade 4, 5, I don't know.
Right. Little.
Like, I just had, like, I couldn't speak because the wind was knocked out, so I'm trying to convey to all these kids around, I'm like, oh shit, he went down hard. So I'm looking at them with my eyes trying to convey that I'm paralyzed, I can't move, so like...
I can remember first time I got the wind knocked out of me. I fell off the monkey bars. I'm sure that was for most people, and just right on my back, just a perfect storm. And my little friend David, if you're listening out there or whatever,
Little friend, or like he's a little person?
No, he's he's.
I was like, please bring him by.
He sees me. I'm panicking. Like, it's the scariest thing. He's like, hold on, Ryan, I'm gonna go get help. And we're just on the other side of his yard, so he hops the fence, goes in his yard, and like I can hear him telling his parents, and I can hear them not caring, like that I'm dying. And then like I hear him going over to like another adult and then another adult, and like I have time to like catch my breath and like I'm like, I'm okay, and I am not popular. Jesus Christ.
It's like the boy who cried wolf, just David tells us every day, someone fell. Fuck off, David.
David, why do you think we got you this fucking friend? Get out of here.
I just unlocked another memory. This
Amazing.
is the moment. Okay. This would have been in grade 7. In grade 7, I was at that perfect, just in-betweener level of popularity where, like, depending on what kind of week I was having.
Ryan or everyone else?
Yeah. So
does this story involve you never going past that level?
No, this is just such beautiful indifference to my existence from everybody in my class. Okay, so you guys remember the trend? Did you guys do this? Did you knock each other out by, like, hyperventilating and then covering the...
Right.
So I hear them doing describe. I'm like, that's bullshit. That doesn't work. And like, I'm in class. So I walk over and I like, very quietly to myself, like start hyperventilating a little bit to myself just to see. And I've got like, I grab my scarf and I just kind of gently like, just in the corner of the class by myself,
For the people listening, you can't see the gesture he's doing. He's got the scarf wrapped around his neck, and he's pulling it away, tightening around his neck.
Not too tight, just enough for it to be there. And I'm like, this is bullshit. This isn't. Eat out. I could I don't know if you guys have ever fainted through that or anything else. Like, you have a bit of recollection, just you can kind of feel yourself heading down.
Yeah, no, not faint. I've been knocked out, but I've never.
Yeah, exactly. I literally have no idea. It could have been 10 seconds. It could have been 30 seconds, but I just woke up and like my face was on the wall. And like drool was down my face, and like nobody had any clue whatsoever that I had fallen. I assume I made a noise when I hit the wall.
Scarf around his neck still.
The teacher's gone home.
Middle of summer.
The janitor's just sweeping around him. Oh my god, amazing.
Yeah. Should have died. I should have, strangled myself to death.
Not really died, but along these lines. So, did you guys, speaking of that, I just remember the first time I got the wind knocked out of me, we used to play this game called Icy Foot when I was a kid. So it's a Canadian thing, I assume. Well, there's places in the States that have winter and shit too. So, you know, whenever the ground was frozen over, we would run up behind each other. And you're not trying to like kick their legs out. Mm-hmm. You kind of stomp right behind them to kick their heel out, and you call it Icy Foot. And then you kind of do that weird little shuffle and then fall.
The Bambi.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's a great way to describe it. So we're all playing this, and nobody. I mean, look, you're not a hero for being the best at this game. Like, you're running up behind people and kicking their feet. It's not a hard game to. Yeah. You know, everybody's going down from this. But there is one kid who cannot get anybody. He just can't get anyone. And he's like, you know, so he's getting angry. And like, I don't know if it's because his approach to he's a weird kind of standoffish kid anyway, but he's pissed. And so finally he's resorted to, I'm going to kick out this girl's foot. He sees her across the thing. And this is like the tiny, quiet girl in our class. And we're like, all of us are like, what? No, dudes, no. Like, come on, that's out of, like, even as little kids, we're like, just stop it. We know what this is. We're sorry you suck, you know, but just, if you don't want us to kick your goddamn feet, just don't go and kick hers. That's nonsense. But he's already gone. At this point, he's like, I'm going to do it. And he thinks he's doing a good thing here. So he runs up, boom, kicks her foot hard. Like, this is not like Icy Foot. He's just like, I'm not failing at this. Her legs go straight up, back slams down on the ground. And this is like, you know, cement. Mm-hmm. This is,
I know.
Yeah. And so a bunch of us had already started to run over to try and stop him from doing this. So we get there and we see this poor girl in the coat is like, and he's like, yeah. And then we see his face change and we realize why. It was a supply teacher that day who had the same coat as the shy girl in our class. This kid in grade 7 has now run up behind a teacher and kicked her legs out behind her, and she has smashed her back onto the ground. So she gets up and she's trying to hold on to him to take him to like the office. But you can see she's concussed, like she's almost unconscious. And so even my friend's trying to get away and he's trying to like squirrel out. He's like pushing her to get away. And she's like, no, come on. We're going to the office. Now, here's the worst part. My school was rough. Like it was in that rough. I mean, that kid knocked out our principal. This is so I can only imagine the phone call that she got this day in all of York Region. It's still considered like the worst school. So she was probably already like, oh my God, I got to go teach at this terrible school that day. Mm-hmm. And then to not even see it coming, to just think that she got just assaulted.
Did you get stabbed? No, Icy Foot.
Yeah, I got icy footed. And so it was fucking great to watch that. I mean, I feel bad for her, but it was great. And we were all very happy that the poor quiet girl didn't get hurt. Mm-hmm. And that this kid was just in a lot of trouble.
Have you ever had that have you ever been that guy where you think you're doing something funny and then you realize the joke has gone terribly bad?
Oh, of course.
Daily.
There's a time when, I don't remember, probably the same time I
decided once we should do a podcast.
It's probably the day after I got paralyzed. I was in the schoolyard and I see this girl walking by and it's my friend's sister's friend who I just kind of know, but I just kind of see him like, oh, I know that kid. So as she's walking by, I just put my foot out like, this will be funny. I just put my foot out. She goes down hard. All of a sudden, just what? She's probably 2 years younger than me. She's just like, woo, full on crying and look at me like, why did you do that? And at that moment, I'm like, I don't know.
That's the worst part.
I felt so bad.
Yeah, it's life's not like the movies where the bully's always the bully, and everybody has moments of shitty.
The sweet kid has some serious moments.
Awesome. Anybody else have any other times they died? I probably have about 1,000, but
Probably some mental issues that are kind of locked.
I mean, I'm just talking about a few away games. I'm not even talking about my home games where I died.
I almost killed a few friends of mine too. I almost took some down with me. Again, me with the driving. Yeah. Actually, this time we're gonna mix up the vehicular homicide a little bit. This time it was a jet ski.
That seems like the right thing for you.
Yeah, it's like a video game. There's different levels. This is now Ryan.
You're like the opposite of Triple X. They go get Vin Diesel because he can do all these things. Ryan can operate no vehicles of any
no
kind.
bikes, no
But he has
horses.
a lot of access to them.
So
And look dope while doing it.
at the end of a lovely day at my cottage with my friends, I take them for a jet ski ride. And I'm going to do a little funny with the jet ski, which my brother taught me. He's like, you're driving in, turn at the last second, and it sends like a big old tidal wave on the dock, gets everybody wet. And it's pretty, there's some force behind it. It might knock you over if you're not paying attention to it. So here's the thing about jet skis is they have to be on and engaged for the steering to work.
Okay.
Yep.
And the other thing about jet skis is they have, the kill switch, the little thing on your wrist. So if that comes off, the power's off. So I'm going in and I'm fucking going full blast with two of my friends on the back. It was like the last ride of the day, and I'm going to get everybody who's left on the dock soaking wet. And I don't know how I did it, but I almost stood up to get ready for the turn and dump my friends in the process. I knocked the kill switch off with my thumb. So we have so much speed behind us and no fucking steering. We go flying in. My two friends, God bless them, thankfully, they saw the right end one. They bailed. I just kind of grab onto the steering wheel, and we just cut the dock in half. Go right through the fucking dock, like a perfect cut, like a miter saw just came down and cut it in half. And it's really loud, really, really fucking dangerous. I'm fine. I've got a little cut on my leg. A cut. I'm bleeding enough.
Did your friends hang on?
No, they bailed. There's a
bailed,
sandbar, so they got off in good time, and they're all totally fine. My mom comes rushing out when she hears the ruckus, and she yells at me. She's like, "Ryan, I told you to watch the safety video." And I'm just like covered in dock rubble and shame and blood, and I'm like, "Shut up, Mom." So then she basically tells us, she's like, "Your father's at work. You have 4 hours to put this fucking dock back together." And one of my friends was there. Thankfully, he was building decks, so he put on a tool
Not
belt.
the same.
No, well, he had some knowledge.
He knows a lot of dock stuff.
He knows wood stuff. Exactly. So he gets started, but then he has to go at the end
Is
of
this
the
friend
day.
a horse? Because that would be incredible.
I tried to put the dock there the best I could after he left, and I thought I did. Then I look over, I'm like, oh, there's a lot of leftover wood that I should have put in somewhere there. So
That's good for you for getting it done in 4 hours. That's a big job.
they have low quality. We completely rebuilt it the next year. If I would have hit
you
that
did.
dock, I would have died.
Oh my God. Okay, amazing. Well, thank you very much, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
I'm going to go buy a dune buggy.
No, you should not do that.
You should buy nothing.
Picked her up for the first date. Don't wanna jinx it, but so far it's going really great. Get to the movie, romantic comedy. My stomach rumbles and my dinner starts to haunt me. There is no hiding this fart is coming out. The best thing I can do is see if I can squeak it out. Wait for the loud part, lift up my leg and start. Ease it out and hope that this is just a silent dart. Now this is where I went wrong. 'Cause when I started pushing, instead of a simple gaseous dance, I shit my pants. I don't know why I even took that chance. I shit my pants. I don't know why I ever took that chance. Now they smell the air and start to look at me. So I do the same and blame the guy beside me. The movie's ending now. Oh, what a circumstance. For the love of God, why did I wear these white pants? And as I stand up, she